Good evening, everybody. It's Leo coming at you once again with a video diary entry for the book Soft Thorns by Bridgett Devoue. Combination of poetry and inspirational thoughts and lessons learned and all of that good stuff. But let's go ahead and dive right in. Tonight's segment is going to be a little intense. You know, Bridget and I strolled down some rather dark and treacherous territory. You know, I like to say we're kind of strolling along the beach, you know, a nice little night stroll along the beach, along the sands. But we get really real tonight, you know, with this segment as far as what the poem entails, and I will be quite honest with you. Um, has a little bit of colorful language in here, but you know, this is the expression of how she feels and kind of how I can relate in some aspect to it. But to go ahead right on in, the poem tonight reads: You never loved me, you just wanted to F me, and you were willing to say whatever it took to capture your prey. Wow. You never loved me, you just wanted to F me, and you were willing to say whatever it took to capture your prey. Video diary entry title: A Lethal Kind of Love. Subtitled: Disrespected. In any diary entry where she highlights, or not highlights, but italicizes certain words, it really puts a strong emphasis on her emotion regarding the matter at hand. And as exhibited here in her wording, you know, like I said, we take a walk down dark sands tonight. You know, this is the part where we kind of get really real. You know, we're in the part of the Scar series where we kind of let out our last bit of, sour emotions before we move forward. It's almost like, as I was reading this the other night, I thought to myself, it's almost like the plates you break and smash, you know, before you get to that point of moving forward. Or it could even be like the pages of a journal, or a diary that you burn so that you never have to read them or relive those horrors or feel like you're doing that. But we're kind of in that part of the Scar series. We get really real. We get to really uncover what's going on here. You never loved me, you just wanted to F me, and you were willing to say whatever it took to capture your prey. A Lethal Kind of Love, subtitled Disrespected. This, honestly, for me, was a scary place to be. Reading this a few nights ago, this was a very scary place for me to be. And I felt kind of nervous. I kind of felt my heart pounding a little bit when it dawned on me. Not that I didn't know this, but just as I can relate to this in a way, you know, that some people are just predators. It's a scary thing to know that really, especially in today's age, no matter how astutely, or um, how you know, decorously you carry yourself. Anybody can be a target of a predator's aims, you know. But as it relates to romance, you know, or what she thought was, because of the attention shown to her, you know, same thing applies, really. Predators. Guy was willing to say all the right things, maybe even go so far as to do the right things, but see, it's all about the intention at the end of the day. It's not even always so much the action that speaks, but sometimes you have to kind of ask that question. What was your intent behind this? Kind of like that colleague that you may not normally talk to, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they want to have this elongated conversation with you, and you're like, okay, this is different. This is completely out of the norm. But kind of internally, you sort of think to yourself, there must be something up with this. Something must have been said about me or something. I don't know. Or kind of like, what I've gone through recently. People sometimes try to get close to you to see what they can pry out of you. Even though I've been through this circumstance before, and I was able to discern it right on the spot. I don't have that story where I can tell you I just absolutely fell for it. No, my story is I could see something was not, I could feel something was not right. I could feel the energy and the person was not quite right somewhere. you know. But while I kept it cordial, I had my caution up, you know. But sad to say, this did not happen for Bridgett. So we're in a place now where we just sort of dispel, or divulge all of these sour emotions as they are. Not even really poeticizing it, but just acknowledging it for what it is. This was all you wanted out of me, and you did what you could to get what you want. I guess whatever you want, I got it, right? And all I can do as myself and Bridgett sit on this dark, sanded beach is just listen to her pour all of this out. That's the place we're in. And to kind of get started with the poetic series, from my end, kind of what I gathered out of this, my first question, more so for me than her, being what to make of this. I have so much compassion and so much empathy for this situation. I'm trying to make sense of this. What to make of this. Even though I already knew what was happening. But having it be confirmed in later poetry, it's just like, wow, what to make of this. But it goes. Words have escaped my heart. Thoughts have erased my mind of all sanity, sullied in this circumstance. How do I tell you I'm sorry? I wish there was something. Sigh. I've never been so absent of encouragement to give, inspiration to bleed upon your heart, life to render to your soul, or at least to your deathly wound, to repair that which was damaged severely as a fragile tree, Yes, even strong roots crumble sometimes. You and I both, my love. Well, we'll work together, making sense of this. What to make of this? Truth of the matter is, Bridgett, this is the first time I don't really know how to make sense of this for you. I don't know how to help make sense out of nonsense as it relates to somebody who pursued you for lustful reasons, even though that may not have been how you presented yourself. This person saw an opportunity and seized it, and you not being aware or attuned, with your inner self or even with this person, you kind of just fell for it. You didn't really have anything to stand on, so you just kind of fell for the first thing that showed up at your doorstep. What to make of this? I almost just don't have words for you at this point, so I'm going to let you express yourself freely, one glass plate at a time, smashing. And moving on to my next piece here, titled In Chains. All I can do is empathize with you at this point, but express yourself freely while we're on this dark sand. In chains. Lying here, tormented beneath your fangs, your white chambers that shine once like stars, they don't even look the same. Gazing from this angle, twinkling, shimmering, chewing away at the night, like the machete towards my heart, your twisted lies trapped me here, and I breathe every last one of them, as if they were fresh roses, lavender kinds. I didn't smell the feces folded between the petals, the passion woven in your expression. I thought it a bit much, but magical, as I like to believe things to be, that screamed out of the ordinary, like my presence here. I'm glad I could stroke your eyes with entertainment of naughty nature. You had your fun. Let me out now. Awake. I'm awake. In chains. Almost sort of like a dream sequence at the end. I'm awake. But in that poem, it's almost like you're doing this to me. It's almost like you had to rape me with your eyes first before devouring me completely with the rest of you. A dark space. You almost make me feel like I'm locked in chains and I'm just waiting for you to do your thing. I feel like I have no way of escape, but you won me over by the charm flowing from your mouth. You won me over by that. Malicious intent rested in your heart this entire time. The most delightful sound from a devilish soul. Tragic. But that's what it feels like. Even trying to overcome this, I feel like I'm locked in chains. But as I express myself freely, how I feel and what I feel for what it is, this situation, I'm sort of breaking out in a way. But yes, in chains. lethal kind of love, disrespected. A lethal kind of love, a love that maybe impassions you to do what you do, but paralyzes me in the end. But yes, in chains. It's gonna be a moderate entry tonight, y'all. So, but I think it's really good stuff. You know, we're in a very honest place, a dark place, but an honest one. But we're healing as we progress along. But this next one, titled, a short one, Buried Beneath You. Buried beneath you. Throw away the shovel or the condom. Yes, the lubricant as well. Don't give them any sign of our dealings. Your decadence, my delight. Let them discern between the two. Those who truly know me will find me. My place between us. They'll know my love. They'll know. Buried beneath you. People will know the truth regarding you and regarding me. So it's almost sort of like this murder mystery a little bit. That's the kind of twist I kind of feel like this has, but there's a deeper meaning underneath it all. It almost seems like a very cryptic way of expressing anger and passionate disgust. But like in chains, I feel buried beneath you. It's almost like I'm buried under your shadow. And while it seems like the light that I carry can't be seen, it's a lot more visible than you think to people who know my heart and who know my nature. But you can throw away what you use to seduce me and ultimately get what you wanted. You can discard it now. Kind of like you did me. You can discard all remains of me, because that's what I'm doing with you. Smash. That would make plate number 3. Buried beneath you. Intense, right? Whew, and the next piece, another short one, titled A Swamp Session. So we're going into some rather treacherous territory here, but a swamp session. Leave a trail of leaves behind and branches while you're at it, leading them to the quicksand they'll drown you under alongside me. Yes, your prints are on file. Turn yourself in, then face me, the remains of me anyway. Skeletal bride, yes, buddy, face me. Wow. A very dark and intense place. Picture this like the quicksand that you made me feel like I was sinking under. Quicksand is kind of scary, honestly. You know, I used to watch Jumanji growing up, and I used to really kind of be intimidated by that scene where the floor would turn into almost like a quicksandish thing, and Robin Williams sort of starts slowly sinking. That used to scare me. But some toxic relationships are like that. They're like quicksand. And that's the thing about quicksand. Quicksand, the longer you're in it, the further you sink. Hence the reason why when you know a relationship is going sour, it's very important when you start to feel like you're sinking. It's very important that you start fighting your way out. You know, not to say that, you know, again, relationships don't have their ups and downs and everything like that. But if the relationship feels like quicksand and you are slowly going under to the point where you don't even, it's almost like you confuse quicksand for water by itself. But you don't understand that quicksand is a mixture of water, murky water, and dirt. When you sink underneath there, you die. You suffocate under quicksand. And that is what a toxic relationship is like if you remain in it longer than need be and you don't fight your way out. But picture this: him drowning in that same quicksand, and you're having to look at the skeleton that remains of me after all you've done. You have to look at my skinless body. The only thing you have of me to look at now that you have gone under is the skeletal remain. So all that you've done to me, you're gonna see the deathly sight that it caused. A swamp session. Intense. But that's what it feels like. It's like a slow death. But, you know, you kind of have to start fighting your way out of these things when you feel like you're sinking and going under. You know, it's important for your sake. That would be like my side advice to her. And the next one, titled, the last part of the poetic series, believe it or not. See, told you, a moderate one. Titled, I Won't Tell Anyone. I won't tell anyone. Shh. It'll be our little secret. Oh, gutted, like you gutted me. Oh, shh. No, my love, they won't know. How can they, without your heart to tell them, or your mouth? Untie you. Are you insane? Unscrew me, and maybe, shh, quiet, will you? Our secret. I won't tell anyone. So it's almost like she's kind of getting sort of like this subtle murderous revenge. Has an ambiguous twist to it, but you know, this poem actually has quite a bit of onomatopoeia. You know, and it makes you wonder like what's going on here. But I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone this little murderous spree we have going on. It's a definitely kind of sarcasm if you think about it. I won't tell them what you did to me, but you're not going to be able to tell them what I'm doing to you. So this would make plate number 5, smash. Felt like I wanted to murder you, just like I feel you did to me and all that you've done within this relationship. Gutted, just like you gutted me. I won't tell anyone. And on that note, I begin to ask her, now that you've expressed yourself and you've expressed the anger and the anguish and turmoil that you feel, my ending question, concluding, how does it feel, love? How does it feel? Was it all that you dreamed? Stabbing him, kissing him, loving him the way you did? I know it hurts. Move on, my love. Better comes. Just you wait, beloved. Untie him, set him free. And you, parting wings. Better. I feel better watching you two. How does it feel, love? I'm going to read that over. Was it all that you dreamed, stabbing him, kissing him, loving him the way you did? I know it hurts. Move on, my love. Better comes. Just you wait, beloved. Untie him, set him free. And you, parting wings. Ah, I feel better watching you two. How does it feel? A question asking Bridgett, now that you've thought all of these vengeful thoughts that you can't quite act upon, how do you feel? Do you feel better having released all of this? So now that you have, you can kind of safely move along. He clearly has. So you need to make space for yourself too. I know it was frustrating all this time to have fantasized over it somehow miraculously working out, or things going back to the way that they used to be. You perhaps even fighting to preserve this relationship, only to face the reality that this relationship is just not salvageable. Some things are just beyond repair. And Bridgett, I think it's time you realize this. I think you are realizing it. And now you're letting out your last bit of frustrations. This is sort of the finale of the passionate fiasco going on inside of here and inside of here. Smash as many plates as you need to make you feel like you're discarding him. Burn as many diary pages as you need to rid his memory. Stop keeping the bones of the person who broke you underneath your bed. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Gangway for a new start. Might actually feel good expressing all of this. But even if you were to act upon these thoughts, would you actually feel better? Would you actually feel better severing the head and heart of the one who broke, the spirit within yours, your head and your heart? Haven't we all been there? Vengeance is a beast sometimes. But you gotta move forward though, sweetie. A lethal kind of love, subtitled Disrespected. You don't have to be paralyzed by having loved this person. I know it has a paralytic effect on you, but your healing can start now. The rekindling of your passion to love again as you work on yourself can start now. You might have felt disrespected, sweetie, but he's departed now. But you get to relearn how to respect yourself as he should have. You get to learn now what's acceptable and what's not when it comes to somebody pursuing you. You get to now learn things to watch out for. You get to now attune yourself to red flags and green flags to infuse some positivity in the situation, to know when the person's genuine and actually wants to be with you and wants just that, a relationship, not just the byproduct of it. So it was an intense space, but you know, every time I read this, you know, we're making progress. But we are getting somewhere. We have a little bit of ways to go, but we are getting somewhere. But this was a good lesson. You know, it felt good to actually have Bridgett express herself, you know, as I empathically write, you know, for the story underneath the story, because that's what my poems are. It's like a story beneath hers. It's the things she's not saying. Because sometimes with pain like this, you feel like there's only so much you can say. And you just hope that somebody can empathize and really hear you out. It's almost like the when you it's almost like as she says, and you just wanted to F me, you could feel the anger in her voice. And it's almost like her saying, I want to do this to you for having sought me for that purpose. For having tried to F me, I now want to just F you up. Is essentially where the tone in her use of this phrase is going. But Bridgett, my side advice, move forward. Move forward. You've expressed it. You've smashed plates. You burned some pages of your diary. Move forward. Yeah, it's a good segment. A Lethal Kind of Love, subtitled Disrespected. If you're in a toxic relationship, fight your way out of that. There's nothing keeping you there. You're not obligated to stay there. You know, fight your way through that. But in that process, learn to regain your self-love, your confidence, and your beauty within, to then be a blessing towards the one that is meant for you, who's gonna love you and cherish you for you. Let's take care. Good night. Be blessed, be inspired, and all of those wonderful things. Love you all. Blessings.